The ocean covers 72% of the Earth's surface. That's 139 million square miles. On average, the ocean is 12,460 feet deep, which is equivalent to 10 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. Over 1 million known species of plants and animals call the ocean home, and scientists say there may be as many as 9 million species which haven't been discovered yet. But the ocean, or more specifically the Pacific Ocean, is home to more than just plants and animals. In the middle of the Pacific, between California and Japan, floats an island about 2 times the size of Texas. But this isn't a normal island. It is comprised of approximately 3.5 million tons of trash. Some parts are up to 90 feet thick, coining this as the largest landfill on Earth. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch was formed by the North Pacific Subtropical Gyre, which is a large system of rotating ocean currents involved with large wind movements which accumulate excessive amounts of trash. The patch is made of some glass, aluminum, and medical waste, but 90% of the debris is plastic, giving it a 6-to-1 plastic to sea life ratio. In fact, most of the waste on Earth today is comprised of plastic, which is made of petroleum and indigestible by the world. Every bit of plastic created still exists today, except the small amounts which have been incinerated, causing toxic chemical air pollution. Plastic does not biodegrade, it only photodegrades. During this process, the sun's rays dry the plastic to the point where it shatters. Scientists have collected up to 1.9 million bits per square mile. The result in this case of the garbage patch is countless minuscule bits of plastic, most of which are floating below the surface, reaching down perhaps 300 feet, resembling plankton and harming sea life. Birds and mammals die with stomachs full of plastic, and fish soon will be unsafe for consumption by all species. The first group to pay close attention to the gyre was formed by the shock discoverer Charles Moore. He started the Algalita Foundation in 1999 with the purpose of studying the garbage patch. As stated on sciencehowstuffworks.com, the researchers take samples from the patch by dragging a net through it. They then analyze each sample for plastic content in the water and plastic toxicity in the fish they catch. In one catch, they found 84 pieces of plastic in the gut of a rainbow runner. In all, their research shows the plastic content in the ocean is increasing steadily. The Algalita Foundation isn't taking steps toward a cleanup for this situation. Instead, they help to educate others about the issue. A group from the Ocean Voyages Institute called Project Kaisai, which means Ocean Planet in Japanese, has taken the reins in leading the cleanup. Ideally, the most effective means of cleaning up the patch would be to dredge the plastic out of the water using nets and to turn it over to recycling companies. Another potential step would be to turn the trash into fuel using a process called pyrolysis. In this process, the plastic would be heated in a vacuum to a temperature above 550 degrees Fahrenheit, which would break it down into its simpler components, which would then be processed into oil. Although cleaning up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch would undoubtedly be beneficial in most aspects, there are a few downsides to the possible attempts. Project Kaisai's plan is possible but has its ups and downs. On one hand, it would rid of trash without a landfill, but on the other, catching the plastic in nets would also catch and possibly harm marine life. But those are just the small points. Almost all scientists think an attempt to clean the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is ridiculous. Even Charles Moore thinks the idea to be useless. Cost, distance, and the effects of photodegradation are the 3 main factors which lead the scientists to find cleanup efforts to be preposterous. A massive cleanup effort would be extraordinarily time-consuming, fuel-consuming, and resource-consuming due to the fact that the patch is so far away. Not only would all of those costs add up, but also a pyrolysis system costs $7 million per setup. Realistically, active cleanup is an unlikely end to the landfill monstrosity, but there are other ways to begin to change the ongoing problem. The first step is to cease the rapid growth of the patch. In the US, 2 million plastic bottles are used every 5 minutes, and 100 billion plastic bags are used each year. This is obviously a major issue, which means we need to use less plastic and recycle even more of the plastic we do use. Moving away from petroleum-based plastics and towards biodegradable substitutes in a much bigger way than we are now is also a must in the situation. Every day, animals mistake this waste as food, and every day they die of plastic poisoning or blockage of their digestive systems. But they aren't the only ones in harm's way. Plastic absorbs, transports, and releases hydrophobic pollutants which affect humans through disease, infertility, and other ways. Reduce your plastic waste.